CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It's a beautiful afternoon in South Florida as the Jacksonville Jaguars play the Miami Dolphins, with both teams still alive in the AFC playoff picture. The Jaguars perhaps more than the Dolphins, but clearly little margin for error for either team. And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone, with former NFL MVP Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy holidays to you and your family. Let's see. Miami begins the season 1-6. They've won 4 consecutive games. Why the turnaround?
Well, collectively, they're playing with a lot more consistency and some confidence. And the one guy that's made the most difference, in my opinion, is quarterback Joey Harrington. He's getting the ball out of his hands quicker. They've cut down the sacks. He's making some good decisions. And finally, maybe most importantly, he's won over his teammates who really believe that he can get the job done.
And as we swing to Jacksonville, what will be the key for them down the stretch? They are 6-5 coming into today.
I really think it's going to be steady and improved play from their quarterback, David Garrard. You know, his numbers have not been spectacular, but he has been steady. And, you know, if you look at this guy, he makes a lot of plays with his arm and with his legs. But if these two teams are serious, have serious aspirations about a wild card spot, they're going to need some big plays out of both these guys down the stretch.
There you take a look at Jack Del Rio, a longtime player in the NFL in his 4th season with the Jaguars and 5 games over 500. Nick Saban in his 2nd year with Miami. He came from LSU in the Southeastern Conference, where he won a national championship. The temperature is in the 70s as Josh Scobie will be kicking off for Jacksonville. He is one of the truly great kickoff men in the league, number 2 in touchbacks. And Wes Welker will be deep back for the Miami Dolphins. He had a kick return last week on Thanksgiving against Detroit for 45 yards. It's the Jaguars, it's the Dolphins, and here we go in Miami. Another touchback and left in the end zone by Welker. To the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, which will take us to quarterback Joey Harrington, who had a 4-touchdown pass afternoon against the Detroit Lions 10 days ago.
Well, Kevin, I question whether this offense can run the ball with any effectiveness versus Jacksonville defense. That means Joey Harrington's going to have to make some plays through the air today.
So they begin at the 20 with the 1st and 10. There are 2 tight ends, including Justin Peele. Harrington throws, and it is caught by Chambers, 26-yard line, and he's tackled on the play by linebacker Ingram. Gain of about 6 or 7 on the play. Here is the offensive line, allowing just 3 sacks over the last 4 games. All eyes will be on number 31, Sammy Morris, taking the place of the injured Ronnie Brown. Brown hurt his hand in that game last Thursday in Detroit. It is 2nd down and 4 in the opening series of the game. Harrington to Derek Hagan, who is a rookie, and brought down at the 31. He was tackled by Terry Cousin. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 1st down. Here is the defensive line. Good ones in the middle with Stroud and John Henderson. Linebackers, Darrell Smith now anchors the middle, flanked by Ingram and Nick Bryson. And in the secondary, Brian Williams returns this week after being injured. It is a 1st down for Miami, opening series of the game, 31-yard line. Lead block by Darian Barnes, a tackle by Spicer on Morris. He's to the 33 on a gain of a yard.
Well, you can already see some of the strategy starting to evolve for the Dolphins. They're going to try and spread out this Jacksonville defense, try and run on the perimeter, and make that front 4 have to get up and run. Make them move around, and you look at Stroud and Henderson inside, and McCray and Spicer, these guys are active, they're physical, but you have to make them get out on the edges and run.
2nd down and 9. Welker is the 3rd wide receiver. No changes in the secondary for Jacksonville from the 32. Draw play, Morris, good block by McIntosh. Stiff arms his way by Cousin, and he's up the sideline and out of bounds at the 42. Ingram was there among many for Jacksonville. That is a run of 11 yards and a Miami first down.
Well, Sammy Morris has been kind of waiting in the weeds for this opportunity, and you know that he's determined and motivated to have a big day today. He's never rushed for 100 yards, and he's looking for that opportunity today. But he is a physical runner. You watch him finish this run at the end. He's not trying to shy away from contact.
1st down and 10 from the 43. 2 tight ends, including Peel and McMichael. And that is caught by McMichael. Working on Gerald Sensabaugh. It is a gain to the 45 and a gain of 12 and a first down.
Wow, Kevin, I had the luxury of sitting up here in the box looking at it, but Joey Harrington had a big one there to Chris Chambers. He's got play action, he's got great protection, and you can just see Chris Chambers, he goes right by Rashean Mathis. He gets the completion, but he passed up a big one right there.
There are now 5 in the Jacksonville secondary. They've gone to a nickel. 1st and 10, 45-yard line. Opening series of the game, that's Marty Booker on the move, and Travis Miners in the backfield and gets the call with the lead block by Jaycox, and a good tackle by Spicer with no gain on the play.
Well, if you're Joey Harrington, this is a defense that's very difficult to face from a quarterback's perspective. Opponent's quarterback rating's just 63. That's the 3rd lowest in the National Football League. Quarterbacks are only completing 54% of their passes. So what that tells me is I got to be smart. I got to see throws today. I got to get rid of it. I can't take sacks and put myself in bad situations versus this defense.
Cousin comes in as a 5th defensive back. 2nd down and 10. Welker is the 3rd receiver for Miami. Good block by Miner. They come up the middle with McCray, and it's an incomplete pass. The coverage by Mathis. The pass intended for Chambers at the 40-yard line.
Well, what you get with Jacksonville is you get Marcus Stroud and Henderson up the middle, and you get speed off the edge with McCray, and you just watch a little shallow cross route. And what Chris Chambers does here that I don't like, he's fading away and he's settling down versus man coverage. He needs to run away, and he needs to recognize and anticipate that and keep running through the traffic. It would have helped his quarterback, Joey Harrington, in that situation.
Still 5 in the secondary. Still the 3rd receiver, Welker. 3rd down and 10. They need the 35. Game-opening drive. A block by Morris. Harrington with time, and that's caught by Welker. Right in front of Cousin. Close to a first down. 9, 10 yards, depending on the spot. It looks right at the 35. And it's a first down as Cleveland has beaten Kansas City in overtime. What a stunning win for the Browns, and what a big win for them when you take into consideration these 2 teams right here.
Yeah, and it's certainly, they all have playoff implications, but we watched Cleveland last week. That's a totally different team this week. Last week they couldn't find a way to get a first down. What a difference that 1 week makes in the National Football League.
Back to 3 linebackers, back to 4 in the secondary for Jacksonville's defense. It is a first down, 35, 1st and 10. 2 tight ends, that's Peel on the move. And Darian Barnes, the fullback, the lead back for Morris, who's brought down by Grayson after a gain maybe of a half yard just inside the 35.
Well, they're doing a good job mixing things up with the run and the pass, but the best thing I'm seeing right now in this Miami offense is Joey Harrington is decisive, and he's getting rid of the ball. The ball is coming out of his hands very fast. He's not holding it. He's not taking sacks. And those guys up front, that offensive line, they appreciate that. Cousin
is back in as a nickel. 2nd down, 10. 10th play of the drive. Beginning back at the 20-yard line. Welker, the 3rd receiver on the move. Morris. And he's swallowed up by Marcus Stroud in the middle, a gain of 1. And you were impressed with these 2 big, strong defensive tackles this week.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's where it all starts. And when they built this defense, it all started with Marcus Stroud and John Henderson. 6'6", 6'7" guys. They get a lot of push up the middle. Very difficult to run against. And in the passing game, they collapse the pocket. And they make it difficult for a quarterback's vision to throw those balls across the middle.
Yeah, there's a lot to block there. They're both tall guys, as you say. That is Sammy Morris, who is down, taking the place of the injured Ronnie Brown. Game-opening drive. Dolphins on the move. 9:55 in the first. Morris walked off under his own power. Travis Minor takes his place. It is 3rd and 9. Game-opening drive from the 34. 5 in the secondary. Welker's the extra receiver. Harrington. Welker working on Cousins. Has a first down. Diving to the 25-yard line. And on the play, picking up 10. And they've gone to Welker a couple times.
Well, you just go back and watch the injury, and you see Sammy up the middle there, just trying to find a crease, and then he gets in an awkward position. We see more players hurt when they get in these awkward, uncomfortable positions where he just has nowhere to go with it. Someone's got him tied up on his lower body, and then they're pushing him in the back, and they're bending him back, and hate to see that from Sammy.
There's Ronnie Brown. Bryson is back in as a linebacker. Cousin is out. Base defense for Jacksonville. 1st and 10, 24 for Miami. It's Harrington off to Minor, who is hit by Bryson on a gain of about 3 on the play to the 21-yard line on this drive, Rich. 11-yard run by Morris, a 12-yard pass to McMichael, and a 10-yard pass moments ago for a first down to Wes Welker.
And the thing that they're doing, they're spreading it around, and 5 different receivers have touched the ball in this opening drive, and they don't have really a one go-to guy. Rather, they have a group of receivers that all contribute and do their part in this offense.
Marcellus Wiley is coming on the defensive line. An extra defensive back has been added. Welker is the 3rd receiver. 2nd down and 8 from the 22. Hand off to Minor. He broke a tackle of Stroud, and he dives his way to about the 17 before Ingram, along with Gerald Sensabaugh, bring him down. Gain of 5, mark him at the 16.
And what they're going to have to do, they're going to be smart with their personnel usage. Now you see Sammy Morris coming back in, but in that last situation, they're going to spread out this defense and get Travis Minor up there in a draw, and they have to be smart. They're thin at that position right now. They have to be smart in how they use their backs the rest of the way.
McCray is back in. Wiley will go to the sideline off the defensive line for Jacksonville. 3rd and 3. Watch for Welker. He's caught 2 third-down receptions on this drive. 5 in the secondary for Jacksonville.
There's the hard count. And that's something that showed up on film. Jacksonville's defensive line has jumped a number of times with the hard count.
Good block by Rex Hadnot. That's a pass to Marty Booker. He is in for the touchdown. And Hadnot's block gave Harrington the time. And Miami strikes first on the game-opening drive.
Anytime you see a receiver that wide open, you just got to believe that he got picked. And there's some confusion in the coverage. Looks like they're playing some man. And Marty Booker just comes right underneath on that shallow cross, and there's no defender in the area.
Jack Del Rio threw the flag, picked it up, and now they're going to have Bill Vinovich, who is a referee, go over and talk with the Jacksonville head coach. I think he saw what you may have seen, a pick, which is illegal.
And you can see Jack over there, and he's complaining about it. And, you hate to see a flag on the field and then pick it up after a score, especially if you're on the other side of it.
2 very young, impressive head coaches in this game. We met with Jack Del Rio yesterday.
Jacksonville cannot challenge that the play clock expired.
Wow. That one came right down to the wire, getting that one off.
Maude will try the extra point. Harrington was terrific on that drive, hitting Welker on 3rd and 9. Welker on 3rd and 10, and Booker on 3rd and 3. Marty Booker caught 2 touchdowns against Detroit. He's caught 1 here today. 7:40 in the first quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. Visa, go on, live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa. And by Staples. This holiday season, finding unexpected gift ideas is easy at Staples.
Thank you.
We're back in Miami. A touchdown pass of 17 yards to Booker. Jack Del Rio, folks, was right. We do not have it on replay, but what they saw in the truck downstairs, our CBS trucks confirms the play clock was at 0. Here is the Following kickoff, it's Maurice Jones-Drew, the rookie, who is out to the 22, brought down by the reserve linebacker Maxwell, a 22-yard return. Booker has caught 3 touchdowns in less than 2 games. He's red hot, as are the Dolphins. 7:33 in the first. A touchdown pass moments ago by quarterback Joey Harrington to wide receiver Marty Booker. Opening drive of the game, 17-yard pass, 7-0 Miami. Jones-Drew took it on the kickoff to the 23, 1st and 10. Garrard is under center, Brad Meester. End around, Reggie Williams. Lead block by Naoli. Tackle made by Zach Thomas. It is a gain of 3 to the 26-yard line. Let's revisit the concern of Jack Del Rio and show you ourselves.
Well, just look at the play clock at the top of the screen. You watch the center. This is going to tick down, and this is just human error by the officials. There's an official assigned to watch that play clock and make sure that the offense gets the ball off in a timely manner, and that doesn't happen there, and you can see the frustration from Jack Del Rio. The
back of the football is touching the 26. That's where it officially is. 2nd down, short 7. 2 tight ends, including Lewis. Taylor. Brought down by Vonnie Holliday, and he's out to about the 28-yard line and a gain of 3. 5 defensive backs for Miami. Extra receivers, Matt Jones for Jacksonville. What a catch. Reggie Williams, he'll get up after he makes the grab at the 35. He loses a helmet. He was belted by Thomas and by Will Allen. He gets a 1st down, a gain of 7 on 3rd and 4. The Jaguars move the chains. And now the defense for Miami. What a line. Big names, all veterans, terrific players. Zach Thomas leads the NFL in tackles coming into today. Secondary strong, but it's turned around with the play of Jeremiah Bell, the strong safety. They're 4-0 since he has been inserted in the starting lineup. From the 36, it's 1st and 10. First drive today for Jacksonville. Wimbush is the fullback. Taylor gets the call. Great block by Maurice Williams. A tackle made by Zach Thomas as they tumble together to the 41 on a gain of 5.
Well, I don't think this Jacksonville coaching staff helped David Garrard last week. They ran the ball almost exclusively on 1st down, and he never really found his rhythm. They just had 49 yards passing in the first half last week versus Buffalo, and as Jack Del Rio told us yesterday, we're going to have to open up this offense, especially against a good front like the Dolphins.
He's like a fullback in a quarterback's body.
He really is. When he decides to pull it down, he's different. He's not looking to slide. He's not looking for a safe haven. He's looking to run somebody over.
Nickel secondary continues for Miami. 2nd down, long 4. Here comes Jason Taylor. There goes Garrard, Ernest Wilford. Working on Andre Goodman. A 1st down catch and run to the 40-yard line. It's an 18-yard carry and run after the catch and a 1st down. Now some of your game points for today.
Well, for Jacksonville, we know you can run it. You had 207 yards rushing last week, but can you keep Jason Taylor off your quarterback? And then for the Dolphins, without Ronnie Brown today, you face one of the league's best run defenses. If you become one-dimensional today, it's going to be a long, long day for the Jaguars.
Still the nickel secondary for Miami. 1st and 10. 19-yard pickup to the 39. Matt Jones remains the 3rd receiver for the Jaguars. Fred Taylor. And he got a mono-eye block, and he's brought down by Thomas at about the 35 on a gain of 4 yards.
Boy, I just hate banging my head against the wall. And, you know, you watch the Dolphins defensively. They're creeping that safety down late into the box, forming an 8-man box, and really giving the Jags a chance to throw the ball on 1st down, and they're refusing to do it. And I think you make life difficult for yourself. You don't give your quarterback a chance to make some plays down the field. It's very difficult to go 80 yards in the National Football League at 3 and 4 yards at a clip.
Brady, the tight end in the backfield. Now he'll become one of 2 tight ends. 2nd down and 6. Sprague in the linebacker inserted. Daniels, the defensive back, taken out. Garrard chased by Zach Thomas. Pass is caught by Brady. And he was brought down in the play by Spragan. It's a gain of a yard to the 35. Kyle Brady makes just his second reception of the year.
Well, Kyle Brady's not going to fool too many people, and he's not going to run away from a lot of linebackers in this league. And he's more of an outlet. David Garrard's trying to get out on the edge and try and throw the ball down the field. But the Dolphins do a good job containing him and keeping him in the pocket and forcing him to throw the ball early.
There's 6 in the defensive secondary for Miami. They bring in Hankton as an extra receiver. So they got 4 of them now. 3rd down and 5. Jones Drew is in the backfield with Garrard, who's right on the money to Matt Jones, who breaks a tackle of Allen, is knocked out of bounds by Daniels. He's down to the 14, a catch and run of 20 yards, another Jacksonville first down.
Well, this is what they need. They need one of their receivers to come to life, and they really feel like it could be Matt Jones. Jack Del Rio told us he has freaky ability. Watch him make this defender miss. Just with this, I don't like the way he's carrying the football, but he is a big target. He's one of the most talented guys in that group, and the interesting thing about him, he's still learning how to play that position, having played quarterback in college.
Garrard 4 of 4 on this drive to 4 different receivers.
And he's difficult. Kevin, he's a difficult quarterback to get your hands on. He moves so well in the pocket. He's very elusive. And Jason Taylor told us yesterday he's going to be tough to sack.
1st and 10, 4 in the secondary. Look at the time for Garrard. Good block by Williams. He dances on Carter, and he's belted on the play by Donnie Spragan, working the sideline to the 13, picking up a yard on the scramble.
You know, we sat down and visited with him yesterday. I mean, he is a big, big man, 245 pounds, and he's not too concerned about protecting himself. And I think that will eventually change the more games he plays in this league and the more hits he takes. But he's going to have to figure that out. But right now, he doesn't really care.
Jacksonville 2 of 2 on 3rd downs today, only 1 of 11 against Detroit a couple days ago.
And that was a problem, and it's going to especially a problem for them on the road. They have to find a way to keep the numbers consistent on 3rd down and manageable, and that's also been a problem for them.
Did I say Detroit? I meant Buffalo last week. 2nd and 9, 10th play of the drive. Long drive for Miami, long drive for Jacksonville, and down he goes, brought down by Jason Taylor. Corkscrewed in, a loss of 7. They'll mark him back at the 21-yard line as Taylor notches his 10th sack of the season.
Well, they do a great job moving him around, and you watch, he's actually on the left side this time, the Jaguars' right side, and that's the thing that they do as well as anybody. They move him around, especially in nickel, and what that does, it causes problems for the offensive line. The reason I say that, they set their protections to Jason Taylor. And when they set the protections and he gets up and moves from the left side to the right side, that really messes everything up in terms of their offensive protections and schemes.
6 in the secondary. Jones Drew is in the backfield with Brady. Matt Jones is the 3rd receiver. Garrard. Here they come again, and down he goes. And Kevin Carter gets him this time. Pushing him back to the 31. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and for Carter, his 5th sack of the season. Another sack for a 2nd consecutive game.
And Kevin, you and I talked about probably one of the best defensive end combinations in the National Football League. They're both smart players. They have great motors, and they're fabulous competitors. I mean, that's the thing that's so special about these two players.
First quarter showing zeros. And Jacksonville will be attempting to go for 3. Well, we're told now it's a timeout, although now they're going to put 2 seconds back on the clock. All right, first quarter, we're still in it. 7-0 Miami. Jacksonville setting up for 3.
You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 41. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Stanley Tools. Make something great. And by McDonald's.
There's a reason Jacksonville called that timeout to save some time. They want to kick a field goal in this end of the stadium, not the other, with the wind. And this is just a better end of the stadium to try. It's a 48-yard try by Scobie. Right down the middle. It pays off. A valuable timeout for sure, but they get 3. Kicking at the end they wanted to is Garrard's first drive for Coach Jack Del Rio. Produces a field goal at the end of 1. It's 7-3 Miami on CBS. Remember, Jacksonville had the ball 1st and 10 at the 14. Two very good-looking Miami sacks drove them back. But Scobie nails the 48-yard field goal. 7-3 Dolphins at the end of one. Jacksonville 6-5. Miami 5-6. Jaguars have lost 2 of 3. Dolphins have won 4 consecutive games.
And it's always important to answer a score with a score, especially on the road and especially the opening drive.
On that drive, catch and run of 19 by Wilford. A 20-yard catch and run by Jones, setting up the field goal. Here's the subsequent kickoff from the 7-yard line. Wes Welker played at Texas Tech. It's a big block from Travis Minor before sends the ball along with Jorge Cordova. Bring him down at the 32. 25-yard return. We're in the second quarter with just 6 seconds gone. Harrington has thrown a touchdown pass through 3 last Thanksgiving against Detroit. Hit Booker from 17 yards away. Second possession for Miami. 1st and 10, 33-yard line. 2 tight ends, including Peel. Morris in the backfield. Sammy gets the call. There's a block by Peel. In the secondary goes Morris, brought down by Grant and Sensabaugh, bursting free for 17 yards and a Miami first down.
And this is where they want to run over that right side behind L.J. Shelton and Vernon Carey. You just watch him. Once he gets out in the open, he can make some big plays, and it's good to see him back in there and healthy and running again. You know, Kevin, the interesting thing, 19 starts as a Dolphin. He's never rushed for 100 yards.
He had 91 last week. He had 11 on the first series, had 17 right there from midfield, 1st and 10. Barnes is now in the backfield as a lead block, and it goes off to Sammy Morris, who is tripped up by Marcellus Wiley. It's a loss of a yard back to the 48-yard line.
Well, I was really impressed with Joey Harrington on that opening drive. He did a great job. 7 of 8, 6 different receivers. He did a great job spreading the ball around. And again, as we talked about, the most impressive thing he's doing, he's decisive, and the ball is coming out quickly.
Scripted plays, impressive plays.
And I think that's important. You script the first 15, and they were right on the screws on those first 15.
With Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan in Miami, 2nd down 11 from the 48. 2 tight ends, one of which comes to the bottom of your screen. Peel. Harrington, Chambers right there with Sheen Mathis, who drives him out of bounds. The progress takes him to the 48-yard line of Jacksonville in a gain of 3.
Well, Joey Harrington's not the only guy that has replaced a starter, and you look at Garrard for Leftwich and Damon Ewart for Green and a bunch of those guys, and some because of injury and some because of poor performance. But these 2 players in particular now, they carry the future of this organization down the stretch, and hopefully what they hope will be a playoff run.
Cousin is coming as a 5th defensive back for the Jaguars. Welker is the 3rd receiver for Miami. It is 3rd and 8 on the 2nd possession for Miami from the Jaguar 48. Harrington got a block from McMichael, but throws it away. No one home. The receiver went that way. The ball went this way, and they got to punt the ball in their 2nd possession.
And there was definitely some confusion there from Joey Harrington and Randy McMichael. He thought that he was going to run an out route, and McMichael winds up turning it up. But that's what pressure will do for you. It forces you to make some decisions that you're not quite ready for, and that's just what happened there.
Donnie Jones will punt the ball, and deep back for Jacksonville is Alvin Pierman, 2 years out of UVA. Great hang time. Full caught, Pierman 11-yard line. Drifting back. Well-placed 36-yard punt. We're in the second quarter. The time is 12:44. Here comes Garrard. Here comes Jacksonville. Tonight on CBS, a cop's secret will cost him everything. Don't miss a new episode of Cold Case. That's tonight on CBS, America's #1 network, with Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. 2nd possession for the Jacksonville Jaguars at the 12. They got a field goal first time they had it. Brady, the tight end, in the backfield. Outside it goes. Reggie Williams snared out there by Will Allen. He's to the 16-yard line, picking up 5 on 1st down.
Well, you look at the AFC playoff picture, and we just talked about Kansas City losing, and that certainly helps both of these clubs. And again, Denver making the quarterback change, and Cincinnati's the one team that's really coming on. Indianapolis is going to run away with it, and so is San Diego in their respective divisions. But these teams are still certainly not out of it.
5 in the secondary. 3rd receiver Matt Jones, 2nd and 5. Gerard. Oh, that was tipped. Jason Taylor got it there. He has a sack and he has a deflection. You don't think he changes the complexion of a game?
And he's really a smart guy. As soon as he sees the three-step drop, he's ready for it. Watch his hands come up real quick. I mean, that's instinctive. And if you're an offensive lineman, if you're a left tackle, you have to fire out. You have to be aggressive, and you have to get his hands down. You have to discourage him. The way you discourage him is you deliver the blow. You don't receive the blow, and that's one thing that Cleve Barnes got to do a better job as this game goes on.
6 in the secondary. Boy, he studies a lot, doesn't he, Jason Taylor?
He's a smart guy. He's very instinctive. He follows all his keys.
Jones drew in the backfield, 3rd and 5. Gerard. He needs the 22. He's brought down by Ronaldo Hill. He's out to the 22, maybe a little bit beyond. A gain of about 6. Looks like he's picked up the first down with his legs, as he did in the 4th quarter in Buffalo last week, which was so impressive.
And it's funny to watch the body language of some of these defensive backs for the Dolphins when they see David Garrard running at them. Most DBs will try and, when they see a quarterback running, they're going to deliver a blow. They're looking for the knockout shot. But now you see these guys breaking down, just trying to make sure they make a tackle on this guy because they know he's so physical.
Wouldn't you? Wow. 1st and 10. 22-yard line, second offensive series for Jacksonville today. That was batted down. Did Taylor get that again? I think he did. So look at Gerard.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing funny about that. Tell you what, you do that once or twice, and now I'm talking to my left tackle. I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm not sending you to the Pro Bowl.
2nd and 10.
You see the frustration. And one of the things they're going to do, they're going to start, he tries to change it up. He tries to go for the cut. And he is such an athletic guy in space, and he makes it so difficult on the offensive lineman. But that's a good job by Cleve Barnes, trying to change him up, trying to give him a little different look. They're firing out, trying to go for the chop block.
5 in the secondary. The extra receiver is in, so 3 there for the Jaguars on 2nd down and 10. Good block by Maurice Williams. That's caught by Matt Jones right in front of Goodman. There goes a flag. The ball is out to the 35. A 14-yard gain as it stands right now. Jovinovic.
Pass interference. Offense, number 18. Wow. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
And that is the first penalty of the game. Look at Vinovich, who works as a college basketball official in the Pac-10, as well as refereeing and officiating NFL games. There's Matt Jones.
That's something they have to take advantage of. Matt Jones is 6'6". Andre Goodman is 5'10". As a quarterback, I'm going to go after that matchup. That's an 8-inch difference there in terms of their height, and you got to take advantage of that. But in that last one, then they got Matt Jones at the end of that route for extended. And you see the difference, the tape there, the difference in height between these DBs of the Dolphins and the receivers of the Jacksonville Jaguars. These are big guys. You got to find them a way to get them the ball in space.
Still the nickel secondary, 2nd down and 20. Jones drew in the backfield. Reggie Williams met by Will Allen and finished off by Travis Daniels at about the 17-yard line, and a pickup through the air of 7 yards.
I've never seen a guy get so excited. I watch Reggie Williams. This isn't the first time I've seen him get so excited about a 3 or 4 yard completion. I mean, it just it blows me away, and I know that's something that bothers other people as well, and I just hate to see that. I like the emotion, I like the energy from the guy, but realize where you're at and realize the situation. I think it's important.
Maurice Jones-Drew remains. Wilford, Matt Jones, and Reggie Williams, the 3 wideouts on 3rd and 13. They need the 33. 6 defensive backs for Miami. Gerard dropped. Reggie Williams, no celebrating there except on the defense and the coverage by Ronaldo Hill. And like the Dolphins before them, Jacksonville has got a punt on their 2nd possession today.
And Reggie Williams could have helped his quarterback here by coming back to the football. Watch him. Come on back. Come on. Keep on coming now. Help me out. And that's not what he's doing. He's waiting on the throw, and it gives the defender a chance to drive on the throw.
So did you go over there and talk with him on the sideline?
Hey, you got to help me out. I say, Reggie, help me. Work with me. Come back when I throw you the ball. I'll get you some completions.
Wes Welker has 17 fair catches, the most of any punt returner in the league this season. Hanson, Pro Bowler back in 02, will punt for Jacksonville. Pope just about got a hand on it. Fair caught. As we predicted, it's number 18, 36-yard punt, 45-yard line, 9:57 in the second quarter. A Harrington touchdown passed the difference here in Miami.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Papa John's Pizza. Order online at papajohns.com. Garmin, we'll take you there. And by Ford F-Series, built for bold moves, built Ford tough.
Next Saturday on CBS, 2 great college basketball games. Kentucky will take on Indiana. And then top-ranked UCLA will tangle with the Aggies of Texas A&M. Only on CBS, home to Super Bowl 41. Kevin Harlan, Rich Gannon in Miami. This is the 3rd Dolphins possession, punting the last time. A touchdown pass in the first possession to Booker from the 45, 1st and 10. Harrington. Going deep, and the flag's been thrown. Downfield. He makes the catch at the 10. He's down at the 9. He beat Rasheed Mathis on the play. Let's see what that flag is about. Looks to be on Jacksonville, and it could be a goal to go for the Miami Dolphins. Oh, what a grab on a 46-yard catch. And it is on Jacksonville.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact. Defense number 49. Penalties decline. Result of the play. First down.
Chambers came out this week saying, I need to get more passes thrown my way.
They went right after Rasheed Mathis. He's the most aggressive corner. He's got 6 interceptions and a double move right on first down. I like the aggressiveness by Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator of the Dolphins. They're going to go after these guys and attack on first down. 1st and goal from the 9. The pitch out to Morris, the block in there by McMichael among others. Marcellus Wiley comes in with the stop. It looks like almost no gain, maybe a half yard on the play near the 9. Well, here's where you don't want to stall. This is a good red zone defense. They've only allowed 7 touchdowns inside the 20. That's tied with Baltimore. And they really firm up in this part of the field. And so this is where you really got to be smart as an offense and be choosy. You take your shots in this part of the field and don't be hesitant.
That is something to hang your head on. They've only allowed 7 red zone touchdowns, Jacksonville's defense, this year. 2nd down, goal at the 9. Harrington, he's thrown 1 touchdown pass today, and he'll throw this away. Looked like Chambers was in his sights along with Booker. The 2 receivers were crossing, incomplete pass. Coverage in the backfield by, looked like Deion Grant.
Usually if that comes in the secondary, it's usually against the defense.
Illegal contact. Defense number 27. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
How about Rasheed Mathis getting another penalty right there?
Yeah, what happened there, really, what happened was that offensive line had done such a good job with the Dolphins. They gave him plenty of time. And this is really, it's a lot of time to have to be covered in the back end. And Joey Harrington held the ball, and he had good protection, and it really allowed him that opportunity to find him in the back of the end zone.
So 1st and goal, you see what those goal-to-go possessions have looked like this season for Miami. Morris stacked up, and the ensuing scrum to the 5. That's about it.
That's a mismatch inside. And
loss of a yard.
Stroud and Henderson. You have to get 3 bodies on those 2 inside, and that's a hard way to make a living, trying to run it inside against the Twin Towers. And I really think they're better served by trying to get out on the edge, trying to get some hook blocks on these guys and force them to run sideline to sideline. That's not something they do as well.
4 in the secondary, 3 linebackers, 2nd goal in the 5. 2 tight ends, including Peel. Harrington looking for Chambers, who is covered on the play. That looked like Brian Williams. It was. It's 3rd and goal.
And the importance, good red zone offenses can run the football in this part of the field. And that's something that the Dolphins have not done a very good job of this year. And then you see there that they're almost giving up and they're trying to throw it.
Welker has come in as a 3rd wide receiver. They brought in Cousin as a 5th defensive back. 3rd and goal at the 5. Here comes Spicer. There goes the pass. Bobbitt intercepted. Picked up by Sensabaugh. On the deflection, he's out to the 5. Harrington has thrown the interception. That's the 5th red zone turnover by Miami this season. Great defense by Jacksonville. Sensabaugh comes up with the pick, his first of the year. And the Jaguar defense holds stiff. 8:03 second quarter. Gerald Sensabaugh just picked off the quarterback Harrington. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB and the gang, scores, highlights, and news. Sprint halftime from New York coming up next on CBS.
Well, in that part of the field, Joey Harrington, pinpoint accuracy is critical. And he threw that ball behind, it got tipped. And one thing about the Jags defensive backs, they get their hands on a lot of balls. They had 15 interceptions coming into this game. And Gerald Sensabaugh, the right thing to do there would have been to kneel down. They would have had the ball at the 20-yard line.
2 tight ends, including Lewis. 1st and 10 to Fred Taylor. And he was tripped up by Channing Crowder, grabbed by Ronaldo Hill. He is out to about the 11 for a gain of 7 yards and some much-needed breathing space.
I think the best thing to happen to Fred Taylor this year was when they drafted Maurice Jones-Drew. And I think what it's done is it's kept him fresh, it's kept him healthy, and really productive at this point in the season. And that's not something that the Jaguars have had the luxury of having the last couple of seasons. He's usually been nicked and not playing down the stretch.
2nd and long 3. Taylor again. Bottled up. And a gain of about 3 yards or so. Close to a first. There's some great combinations in the NFL, beginning with Tomlinson and Michael Turner at San Diego. And then you see the 5th leading duo of Taylor and Maurice Jones-Drew.
And they're a dominant running team, the 3rd in National Football League right now. They've had 7 consecutive games with 100 yards or more rushing. They definitely have a commitment to running the ball.
Matt Jones is in. Wilford is the other receiver. 1st and 10.
They have to throw at someone early down today. They just have to.
Winbush is in the backfield as the fullback, and Garrard hit by Taylor and throws to Jones, who is working on the sideline, and Will Allen. It's a gain to the 33, a pickup of 18 and a first down. Garrard hung tough in the pocket.
He really did. He did a nice job, and you watch the protection. Not great, but he knows where to go with it. He knows where his quick answer throw is. And the one thing the Dolphins will normally do, they'll try and put Will Allen, they'll try and put him on the taller or the bigger the bigger receiver. They can't do that today because most of these receivers for the Jags are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5".
5 defensive backs out there now for Miami. Travis Daniels has come out as the nickel. 3 receivers out there, as you can see, for Jacksonville on this 1st and 10 from the 33.
Comes pressure.
Scanina is now at the defensive tackle for the Dolphins. Good block by Taylor. Garrard throws out to Matt Jones. He works in front of Daniels. A 22-yard catch on the heels of an 18-yard connection. Garrard to Matt Jones. First down, 44-yard line.
And what's happening is he's making a lot of these back shoulder throws. He's throwing it to the back of Matt Jones, and that's one of the most difficult throws to defend if you're a cornerback. You're out in front of it. They purposely throw it behind the receiver, make him stop and come back and get it. And Matt Jones has done it a couple times today.
1st and 10. Fred Taylor. And hit by Ronaldo Hill and brought down on the play by Matt Roth. Gain of 4 down to the 41. We were told by Jack Del Rio yesterday, he said, if we're going to be good down the stretch, Matt Jones has got to start to flourish, and today we're getting a little taste of that.
Yeah, and it's really been kind of a disappointing year for these receivers, and I think part of it is they lost Jimmy Smith. They lost a veteran guy, a productive guy that really kind of led the way, and you have a bunch of young receivers, and one of these guys needs to step up and emerge, and that hasn't happened so far.
Hampton is the 3rd receiver. 5 Miami defensive backs. 2nd and 7, 41.
Comes pressure once again.
Here comes Taylor on the heels of Garrard throwing, caught. Reggie Williams caught it as he was banged by Hill. He's down to the 28-yard line. A 13-yard complexion. Garrard very cool in that pocket, and that time scrambling away from the help.
Very alert. He knew the pressure was coming. He knew he couldn't pull up. He makes a great throw. And the thing that he has, the luxury that he has some big targets, some big bodies that'll go up and get the ball. And that's just what Reggie Williams does right there.
How about Garrard? 9 of 12 in this game. Very accurate and very cool.
Both these quarterbacks are playing with a lot of confidence right now, and they're not holding it. The balls are coming out quick. I like to see that from the quarterbacks.
2 tight ends, 5 defensive backs, 1st and 10. Garrard, yep, it is a screen. It's out to Wimbush, who stiff arms his way to the 19-yard line. He's brought down on the play by Zach Thomas. Gain of about 9 or 10 depending on the spot. Looks like the nose will go just inside the 20-yard line.
One of the big things you have to do if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars offensively coming into this football game, you have to have a plan for this Miami defense in terms of the protections. You have to be protection conscious. You have to have answers for Jason Taylor and Kevin Carter. And the way you do that, you get your tight ends involved, you get your running backs involved in the protection scheme to take some of that pressure off your front.
Drive began back. The second one began back at the 5-yard line for Jacksonville. Taylor with the Wimbush block and a tackle made by Matt Roth. He has the first down on a gain of about 2 yards. On this drive, pass completions to Matt Jones of 18 and 22 yards. 18-yard pass moments ago to Reggie Williams. And they've got a 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line of Miami. And again, beginning at their 5 after the interception by Sensabaugh in the end zone of Harrington.
And again, it makes it, what's really kept it going is some of the big throws and the big plays by David Garrard. He seems like he's getting more comfortable, more confidence each week, each time out. And they're going to need that from him down the stretch.
Jones drew in the backfield, 9th play of the drive, 1st and 10. 17. Here comes Roth, the slippery Garrard. Here comes Stanina. There goes Garrard. Jason Taylor gets him from behind, almost at the, in fact, at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, but he didn't get sacked, whereas most quarterbacks would have been doused.
I'll tell you what, he's going to make this defensive line earn their paychecks today. I mean, you just never know. And he's so elusive, and he never quits. He never gives up on plays. And he's just unbelievable. He's relentless. And that's a great play, great effort by Jason Taylor. You've seen him. He never gave up. He kept hustling. Now you see him coming off. Looks like it's not good when you see him holding that arm like that.
He's deflected 2 passes. He has a sack, and he is now going to the locker room, and that does not look good. We'll try to get an update as quickly as possible. 2nd down and 10 on the 17. 5 defensive backs. Handoff. And this is Jones-Drew, who's brought down by Crowder and by Allen and by Zach Thomas on a gain of 2 yards to the 15-yard line.
Looks like his own. We've seen this a couple of times. It seemed like his own defender, his own teammate came in and maybe put a shot on his own shoulder.
So we break. We're at the 2-minute warning with 1:57 to play in the first half, and Jacksonville is on the move. No word on Jason Taylor as of yet. 15-yard line, 3rd down and 8. Jacksonville at the 2-minute warning, actually 1:57. Harrington has done a touchdown pass. Jaguars have a 48-yard field goal. This is Jacksonville's 3rd possession of the day. Jones threw in the backfield, 5 in the secondary. Garrard, good block by Brady. And Garrard to the end zone, caught over the shoulder. What a grab by Matt Jones, and a Jaguar touchdown. A 15-yard strike, and they got the rookie Jason Allen.
Well, you just don't expect this to happen versus double coverage. They have a corner and a safety, and David Garrard still finds a way to stick this one into Matt Jones. I mean, this is a perfect throw right in the back of the end zone, using that pylon and giving his receiver a chance to go up and get one.
Matt Jones has caught a touchdown pass for a 2nd consecutive week. He had one last week against Buffalo. He's had a big game today. The former 1st-round pick and a college quarterback at the University of Arkansas. 4 catches and 75 yards for Jones. And the extra point by Scobie gives Jacksonville their 1st lead today. Big completions on that drive. Matt Jones caught one for 18, one for 22, and eventually the 15-yard strike. 150 in the first half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Kay Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And by Budweiser Select, brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Expect everything.
David Garrard has thrown his 6th touchdown pass of the season, 5 of 5 on that drive, 3 to Matt Jones, who has been absolutely terrific. And an 11-play drive, a 12-play drive on their opening field goal, and here's the ensuing kickoff, which Welker bobbles. It ricochets out of bounds at the 9. on the kickoff by Scobie. How about that? The Sprint halftime is coming up next with JB and the gang from New York. Scores and highlights the Sprint halftime from our CBS studios coming up at halftime.
That puts a real damper on this 2-minute drive, having to start at the 9-yard line, and that's why the kickoff return game, your special teams units are so important. They go hand in hand, and how you help and how you set up your offense.
Sensabaugh's interception gave Jacksonville the ball as Miami was in the red zone at the other end of the field. He took it out of the end zone to the 5, and from the 5 they marched down 95-yard drive. Harrington on 1st and 10 to Sammy Morris. Good block by McIntosh, and a tackle on the side by Sensabaugh. Out to the 19-yard line, close to a first down. We'll call it a gain of 9.
Well, the one thing you have to say about both of these quarterbacks is they've taken advantage of the opportunities. And you see they've both gone out, both been efficient, been smart with the football, and that's what you need, and that's what you really expect from your quarterback.
4 in the secondary. Jorge Cordoba is on the defensive line, one of 4 rushers, 2nd down and 1. Morris bouncing outside, then waylaid by Ingram at the 23, gain of 5 yards, and that is a first down for Miami. Timeouts, Dolphins 3, Jacksonville 2.
And you see they're wasting a lot of time right here and trying to get lined up, trying to get organized, and trying to get the playoff.
Now the 5th defensive back, Cousin, has been brought in because Welker is the 3rd receiver, 1st and 10. Intercepted by Mathis. He has a league-leading 7 this season. And brought down at the 34-yard line by Welker. A 6-yard return, and Jacksonville will have it with 38 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts.
And Kevin, you and I always talk about this. These are the kind of plays that you don't want to put on film. A bonehead decision by Joey Harrington. He had one right before the half last time against Detroit, and that is just a bad decision. Trying to stick one in versus cover 2, double coverage. Mathis knows he has help over the top, so he's going to sit on that, and that's just what he does right there. You can't make this throw. And you put your defense, you put your team in bad situation.
Harrington throws interceptions on back-to-back series, once in the end zone, right there, fairly deep in his own territory. Harrington now has thrown 13 interceptions this season.
Well, that's the thing that concerns me. When I evaluate quarterbacks, I look at their numbers. He's got more career interceptions than touchdowns, and that concerns me.
Reister is the tight end, but wide on the top of your screen. 5 in the secondary, 1st and 10, Garrard. Look at the time. Good block by Maurice Williams. Look at the dancing Garrard.
Oh, man.
Chased by Bowens, getting blocks all over, and here he goes. He's got a first down and scrambling into the grasp of Jason Allen, the rookie, at the 17-yard line. A 17-yard scramble. Boy, is he an exciting quarterback. First down for Jacksonville.
Kevin, he's like a man among boys out there. I mean, he's making these guys miss. These guys are professional football players. I mean, this looks like Little League. You see these guys running around in the white jerseys. This is unbelievable. It just goes to show you how athletic he is. He can make plays. He's fooling guys, and when he pulls it down, I mean, he can do some real damage. And this, as a defensive coordinator, this absolutely drives you crazy.
Now there are 2 tight ends, including Reister. 2 receivers. 5 in the secondary for Miami. 1st and 10, Garrard. And caught. Reister at the 5. Oh, and he corkscrews in for a Jacksonville touchdown. A 16-yard hit. And the Jaguars continue their lead.
Wow, you talk about a turn of events, and you talk about being smart. David Garrard, 8 of his last 9 starts, he hasn't thrown an interception. The thing that he does, he's smart with the football, and he sees his throws. And this is just a great throw to George Reister. I mean, he puts it right on him, gives him a chance to get in the transition, the run, and he just does the rest.
Horrible tackling by Jason Allen and by Ronaldo Hill when they could have stopped him. Reister grabs onto his 3rd touchdown reception of the season. Garrard has thrown his 2nd consecutive touchdown pass. And the extra point puts Jacksonville on top by 10. 2 interceptions set up 2 Jacksonville touchdown passes. 14 seconds to play before halftime on CBS. 2 consecutive Miami possessions, 2 Harrington interceptions, 2 Jacksonville touchdowns, the result.
And you look at the 14 points. both off of turnovers, and that's been a problem for them all year. You go back to their 5 wins, they're a +6 in the turnover ratio, and their 6 losses a -7, and their 21 giveaways have accounted for 74 points. And that's devastating to a football team, and if you're Joey Harrington, you gotta be smart with the football, and that's something we've talked about with him, and he's done a good job kind of curtailing some of the mistakes, but that mistake right before halftime, and that's hard to overcome.
And remember, the first touchdown probably shouldn't have counted. There was 0 on the play clock with the officiating crew missed. Scobie's little chip shot and taken on the play by David Bowens, who runs it out to the 40-yard line. Bowens is a reserve defensive lineman. It's an 11-yard return, and the clock now showing 10 seconds left in the half.
Interesting, they had the squib kick there, and Jacksonville fans will appreciate this. They had the squib kick last week in Buffalo, and really just about cost them the football game. And J.P. Lossman gets out on a scramble, makes a throw down the field. They kick the field goal and wind up losing, but I think that's a smart play in this situation.
Word from the Miami locker room, Jason Taylor with an arm injury. Return is questionable. Well, they've got 4 receivers out there, including Hagan and Welker. And the secondary numbering 5 for Jacksonville. 1st and 10, Harrington. Moves it away. 2nd and 10.
I just don't want to complicate things here.
Yeah, you just almost want to get out, don't you?
Yeah,
Catch your breath.
Yeah, and a good call here in this situation. A 2nd and 10 with 4 seconds is a screen or a draw. So if I'm playing defense for Jacksonville, that's what I'm calling out.
Jaguars 2nd place in the AFC South. Miami 3rd place in the AFC East. Kansas City has lost today. Indianapolis has lost today. The Sprint halftime will get you up to date on those things with JB and the crew, and he's just going to go to a knee.
Or a kneel down. That'll work.
Yep, and they'll go to the locker room down 17-7. Harrington's thrown a touchdown pass and 2 interceptions. Garrard 2 consecutive touchdown passes. Jacksonville by 10. We're at the half. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 41.
I'm James Brown in New York, and coming up on the Sprint halftime report, scores and highlights including the Titans' big win over the Colts. The Sprint halftime report is next.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Power up.
And welcome to Studio 43 and the Sprint halftime report. I got it right, Boomer. I'm James Brown, along with my guys, Dan Shannon and Boomer.
Let's
get you caught up with all that's taking place. Jaguars on top, 17-7, 14 points off of turnovers, accounting for the lead there. John Shoup, new offensive coordinator for the Raiders. Same problems, though. Aaron Brooks sacked 3 times, 2 turnovers, all knotted at 7. And the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, league-leading 20th pick, along with 1 touchdown, up 7-0 there. Boomer, Cowboys and Giants.
Well, playing under immense pressure from both the Cowboys and the local fans, Eli Manning finds a way to score a touchdown, throws it to Jeremy Shockey, who's finally where he's supposed to be, 7-0 Giants. Back come the Cowboys after a pass interference call. Marion Barber III takes it in 7-7. And all those ready to put Tony Romo in the Hall of Fame, I'm down, folks, because here's one of 2 interceptions on the day already in the first half. Giants are driving here at the end of the first half, trying to set up a field goal. Now let's go down to Tennessee. Vince Young, he brings his Tennessee Titans all the way back from a 14-0 deficit, throws a touchdown. Peyton Manning down the sideline to Marvin Harrison. Too bad this doesn't go for a touchdown because Indianapolis has to settle for a field goal. But then it's Rob Baronis who's going to kick a 60-yard field goal to beat the Indianapolis Colts. Let's hear from Rob Baronis and head coach Tony Dungy.
You know, it's a win's a win, no matter how you get it done, and Vince put it down to me. The Titans defense held them strong. We just came together as a team. The last couple of weeks we've been putting things together and came out ahead tonight.
It's the first time we've lost a 2-touchdown lead since I've been here, and it doesn't feel very good. But we made some fundamental errors, didn't do the things that we need to do. Anytime you have that amount of penalties and the turnovers and things, you know, it's hard to win. So I thought Tennessee played very well, and they took the game from us.
And the NFL Today's Charlie Casserly reports that Tennessee coach Jeff Fisher will be offered a multi-year contract extension.
I got you now, JB. Hey, Trent Green finds his 4th touchdown of the day. The Tony Gonzalez 28-14. Kansas City's going to run away with it, right? Nope. Derek Anderson finds Eric Hyde. That's not Eric Hyde. That's Steve Hyde. So that's a touchdown, not a gold medal. And Phil Dawson, 31-28 in overtime, JB. Cleveland beats Kansas City.
Big one indeed. Dan.
Hey, and LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, he has a big day. 28 rushes, 178 yards. This is his first touchdown. That's 25, which puts him 3 away. And then he gets another touchdown here. That's his second of the day. 26, 2 away from the record. LT talks about the big win for San Diego.
Great win. I mean, you know, in the second half, we kind of had a turnover there, and, you know, they got a good punt return, and they got right back in the game, and the crowd got crazy, and it was difficult on us for a little while, but, you know, in the end, we was able to put a drive together and go about 10 to put us ahead.
How about Chad Pennington, 25 of 35, 2 touchdowns on the day. Jets build up a 31-0 halftime lead, and Brett Favre has no answers after the game.
I can't say that I had 3 hours of enjoyment today. But, you know, it's the way it goes. You don't perform, lose, they come out. I don't know what to say. We're losing 31-0 at halftime. I mean, you know, pick it up, guys. I mean, that was embarrassing.
Shannon.
Tom Brady's going to go back to pass. Kanoy Kennedy knocked the ball out of his hand. It's going to be recovered by New England, but it's 2 points. Detroit, 18-13 at this point. Corey Dillon bangs his way in the end zone. The 2-point conversion will be good, 21-21. And the hat trick. Corey Dillon goes to the left, dives into the end zone, 28-21. And here, the 5th and final turnover of the Detroit Lions. John Kentner, Mike Vrabel is going to pick this ball off. 3 INTs for Kentner, 5 turnovers for Detroit. They lose.
Lions 0-6 on the road. Damn.
Brad Johnson on the day, he hits, Ricky Manning picks this off. He goes for a touchdown. Brad Johnson, 4 interceptions on the day. Get this, Rex Grossman only 6 for 19 for 34 yards, 3 picks, only 107 yards total offense. Lovie Smith talks about his quarterback.
Rex is our quarterback.
Why did he struggle so much, do you think, today?
Has a lot of reasons, you know. And I don't know, you know, exactly. I mean, I can say a lot of reasons, but we didn't get the job done. We weren't as accurate as we need to be. You know, we turned the football over. So, you know, all those things you can write about.
Bears clinch the North.
Oh, put him out of his misery, Lovey. You got to bench Rex. How about Michael Vick on the day? 2 touchdowns, including this one to Michael Jenkins. They might have saved their season. They go to 6-6 as they win 24-14 on the road.
Here, Reggie Bush, a repeat of the 2000 election. Bush versus Gordon, not George W. versus Al, but Reggie Bush versus Frank Grower. 4 states to win. That's Iowa, Harris, Ohio. He's already won New York, JB, and he needs California. This will be the 4th state. 4 touchdowns, tied the Frank record, set by Joe Horn. Reggie Bush 9 for $139 as they roll.
President.
And Marcel Shipp, he runs this touchdown right here. Gets in, get this, 3 touchdowns on the day and 9 total yards rushing. That's a good day.
That's productive right there.
We will take you back to the second half of your game, Jacksonville, Miami, after this.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint together with Nextel. Power up. Sprint together with Nextel. Power up.
Welcome back to Miami, where the Jacksonville Jaguars lead the Dolphins 17-7. Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon. Well, talking to you about quarterbacks is always our entree into the second half. Let's talk about what we saw in the first half.
Well, Kevin, it's how they finished the half, and David Garrard was hot. They both threw the ball 15 times. Garrard threw 2 touchdowns, Harrington to 2 interceptions, but it's how they finished. Garrard completed his last 6. Joey Harrington missed his last 4 throws.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that first half as you take a look at David Garrard. 2 consecutive touchdown passes to close out the first half. This was a Harrington interception in the red zone, in the end zone by Sensabaugh, and they came back with that great pass and catch by Matt Jones. Rasheem Mathis, who has a league-high 7 picks now with that interception, followed by that to Reister after a couple of missed tackles. That almost looked deflected now that I watch it for a 3rd time in replay. And through 30 minutes of football on a perfect night here in Miami, we take a look at the numbers.
And the turnovers usually tell the tale, but the interesting thing is the points off of turnovers. And Jacksonville was really able to capitalize, take advantage of what the situation of defense put them in. And That's going to be the key in the second half. Which team can take advantage, can generate some turnovers in field position for their offense?
Olindo Mare, who is #1 in the NFL in touchbacks coming into this week, has it teed up at the 30-yard line. Miami has won 4 straight. Jacksonville has lost 2 of 3. Kansas City has lost. The Colts have lost. And here we go. This is Jones-Drew from the 5. An electrifying rookie out of UCLA. And brought down by Travis Minor and Michael Lehan at about the 41 on a 38-yard return, which takes us to David Garrard out of East Carolina. 2 touchdown passes this afternoon.
Well, the good news for the Dolphins, I just saw Jason Taylor come back out on the field, and that's their emotional leader. That's their playmaker right now, and that's good news for the Dolphins.
Jacksonville only 1-4 on the road this season. Last week losing to Buffalo. Miami beat up on Detroit on Thanksgiving, winning by 17. 1st and 10. Fred Taylor, the flea flicker. It's Garrard. Look at the time. Going deep, looking for Jones. Double teamed and incomplete. Flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. The coverage on the play by 2 Dolphin defenders, including Andre Goodman and Ronaldo Hill. It's against Jacksonville.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
The right tackle, Maurice Williams.
And you talk about an impact player. I mean, he grabs a hold of Jason Taylor. That's the difference. When he gets back out on the field, they missed him in the second quarter. But you just watch him grabbing here. You watch Maurice Williams lock up. And now the speed, and he can't help himself. He's got to grab hold of Jason's jersey. And that's the difference he makes for you defensively. Jason Taylor's got so much energy in his game, and he makes so many plays. They missed that in the second quarter.
Nickel defense. 1st and 20. And Fred Taylor trying to find some room. Zach Thomas is there. Gain of 2 to the 33.
And Kevin, when your offense is struggling like the Dolphins are right now, you need some help. And you need some help by way of a turnover, whether it comes from your defense or a big play in the kicking game. And that's something that they'll probably need somewhere down the line here in this second half.
2nd and 18. They need the 48 of Miami. Still the nickel secondary. Still the extra receiver out there, Cortez Hankton for Jacksonville. Garrard. Reggie Williams drilled by Will Allen. Gain to the 43 and a 10-yard pickup.
Well, you look at Jacksonville Jaguars, the difference at them on the road as opposed to at home, and it's been a night and day. And part of the problem is they haven't won the turnover battle on the road. And the other thing is they've been poor converting 3rd downs. But the takeaways, the opponent's points per game, the quarterback ratings, that tells it all right there for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, we said 1 of 11 last week in Buffalo. Today, 4 of 6 on 3rd down.
And that's been the difference so far for the Jags.
3rd and 9. Jones-Drew in the backfield. 5 in the secondary for the Dolphins. The blitz by Bell, picked up by Williams. What a catch made by Matt Jones. Gets away from Allen. Fumble on the play and recovered by Will Allen of Miami at the 17-yard line. The first turnover by Jacksonville this afternoon.
And we talked about a big play. You need a big play by your defense, and they just got one there by Will Allen, and that was huge.
Matt Jones, after the catch, coughed it up. 13-11 in the 3rd quarter. Will Allen made the recovery, but Andre Goodman is the guy that knocked it away from Jacksonville receiver Matt Jones.
Yeah, he really turned a bad play into a good play, good alert play by Goodman.
17-yard line, 1st and 10 after Jacksonville's first turnover. Harrington has thrown 2 interceptions. Peel is the 2nd Miami tight end. Chambers getting by Williams and out the bounds at about the 22-yard line with Clint Ingram knocking him out there on a catch and run of 6 yards.
Well, they have good protection here. The blitz comes, they pick it up, and give them enough time to make the throw. And what happens is they're not doing a good job finding the ball, but this is a great play by Goodman. You just watch him here, and he gets beat, but watch him strip this ball. Watch him reach his right hand in and pull this one out. And Matt Jones is trying to protect it, but Andre Goodman does a good job there ripping that one out.
Base defense for Jacksonville, 2nd down and 4 from the 23. Sammy Morris And he works his way out to about the 25-yard line and brought down by Stroud on that defensive line, and Spicer gain of 2. Well, going into this drive, these are some of the numbers for Miami.
Well, they started like gangbusters, but in the last 4 drives, they've stalled, and they've had some problems. They've had the turnovers, and they have not been able to convert some third downs. They have another opportunity right here.
Starting defense for Jacksonville. It is a 3rd down and 2. Watch for Welker. He's in motion. He's been tough on 3rd down receptions today. Harrington in the pocket is collapsing, and down he goes, and Marcus Stroud makes the sack back at the 17. And Miami has got to punt the ball, and Stroud gets his first sack of the season. That is the first sack allowed by Miami. Loss of 7 back to the 17.
And the problem was, watch how long he holds it here. He looks at his first receiver, his second receiver, and the ball's got to come out. And that was really a coverage sack by the Jags.
3-time Pro Bowl starting defensive tackle. There may not be a better one in the NFL. We got a punt, and Donnie Jones is back inside his 5.
And he gets a good field position here. Oh, short kick.
And Pierman gets it on a bounce at the 38. He gets away from Spragan, but there's a flag. He couldn't get away from Keith Adams, and it's a -2-yard return after the 44-yard punt. 36-yard line right now. Let's see what that flag is all about. I think it's against Jacksonville.
What Pierman could have done there, as soon as he saw that short kick, he could have charged it. And that's what you want from your return man, to come out and charge the ball and not let that ball get on the ground and roll.
Well, we thought it was against Jacksonville. At least that was the initial signal from the crew, but it looks like now there is some discussion.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 58. 10-yard penalty. Jacksonville keeps the ball. First down.
On Cordova. 11:33 to play in the 3rd. Couple Garrard touchdown passes. 17-7.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. Volkswagen, plug in your custom First Act guitar and make your V-dub rock. And by Warner Brothers' new motion picture Blood Diamond, in theaters Friday, December 8th.
Which is the greatest Super Bowl team of all time? Log on to America's Game on NFL.com and vote for your choice. It's only on NFL.com with Super Bowl quarterback Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, our entire CBS crew here in Miami. Second half possession for Jacksonville, fumbling the last time they had it from the 26, 1st and 10. Tight end Brady is in the backfield with Taylor. Blocked by Brady. Or Taylor with the run, grabbed by Bell and by Zach Thomas, moving a pile, 33-yard line, gain of 7.
You look at the Jaguars and their drives and how efficient they've been. Field goal, punt, touchdown, touchdown. They got the rhythm going, and then of course the fumble off of the big throw from Garrard to Matt Jones. Unfortunate, but they were able to stop him on the defense and get the ball right back for their offense.
4 in the secondary for Miami. The 3 starting linebackers, the 4 starting defensive linemen. 2nd down and a short 3. Taylor. No place to run, no place to hide. Given back, hardly any room in there at all. No breathing space. Ronaldo Hill led a charge, no gain on the play.
Well, the best thing Jacksonville has done today is they've helped their quarterback. And what I mean by that, they helped him get in the rhythm. I think they really handicapped him last week. 18 of their first 25 plays versus Buffalo were runs. Today, they've opened it up. They've thrown them first down. They've had a good mix of play action. They've moved him outside the pocket. Now you look at some of these 3rd downs, manageable numbers on 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 3. 6 in the Miami secondary. Jones drew in the backfield. Extra receiver, Matt Jones.
You got one-on-ones on the outside lanes. And here comes the quarterback draw.
Here's Garrard. He's got the first down, diving for a gain of 4 to the 37-yard line. He was belted on the play by Jeremiah Bell. Moved the chains for the Jaguars.
Well, because of his athleticism, I really think this offense has changed somewhat. Certainly a little bit more quarterback movement, but you wouldn't have seen a quarterback draw with Byron Leftwich. This is not something they would have dialed up. But they have more flexibility now with David Garrard because of his athleticism, because his ability to pull the ball down and make some plays with his legs.
Second time, speaking of that, second time he's run for a first down on 3rd down today. 37-yard line, 1st and 10. 4 in the secondary for Miami. Jack Thomas on the blitz. There's the pass, almost picked off, incomplete, looking for Wilford.
That was downfield,
yeah, by Andre Goodman. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars saw the injured quarterback Leftwich injure his ankle out for the season. And then in Game 7, here came Garrard as the starting quarterback. 1-4 on the road for Coach Jack Del Rio, something they want to change. And the reasons, he says, for problems on the road, turnovers and poor third down. Third down is not a problem point tonight.
No, the other thing they need to do, they need to open up this offense and be a little bit more aggressive. And so far, they've done that this evening.
Garrard is in his last 6, 2nd down and 10. Not much gain there for Jones Drew. A scat back out of UCLA, picked up by Vonnie Holliday, and a gain of 1. Speaking of Jones Drew and talking to him yesterday, he just could not compliment Fred Taylor enough, saying how much he has taken this young rookie under his wing.
Well, he's been a real mentor to him, and I think that's important. And that shows the maturity from Fred Taylor. He realizes how important every player is to this organization. In years past, the veterans wouldn't even talk to the young players. Wouldn't even take them out to dinner, wouldn't try and help them out because they realized they were there to take the job. Fred Taylor, mature guy.
5 in the secondary, 3rd and 8. Matt Jones is the 3rd Jacksonville receiver. Garrard downfield for Jones, overshoots him. He had double coverage on him with Daniels, who is the nickel back, and they had Jason Allen back there as well. And Jacksonville's got a punt on their second half possession. Fumbling the last time, getting ready to punt here.
Well, the important thing is going to be for the secondary, the Dolphins are going to have to be able to do a better job finding the ball. They've had good coverage. They've been in the area, but they have not located the ball, and the Jaguars have beat them to the punch. The receivers are going up and getting the ball, and the Dolphins need to do a better job of that here in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Jacksonville has allowed 2 punt return touchdowns this season, one to the Indianapolis Colts in September, one last week of 82 yards to Buffalo's Roscoe Parrish. Waving this off, Welker was back, wisely lets it bounce in front inside the 30-yard line. 8:30 in the 3rd. A tough game, 34-yard punt, 17-7 the Jags. Coming into tonight, the Dolphins had only allowed 2 touchdown passes over the last 4 games. They've already allowed 2 in the first half here. Garrard has gone to the end zone twice, 17-7 Jacksonville. They just punted. Miami's got it 1st and 10. Outside for Chambers, and he is whacked on the play by Rashean Mathis. 36-yard line, gain of 9. Here is the AFC playoff picture. Indy has lost, San Diego won, Baltimore lost Thursday, New England won. Look at the Jets. They win. Kansas City loses an OT at Cleveland today.
I'll tell you what, keep an eye on those teams in the hunt. The Jets surprising some people. And again, this game is really, it's critical for both these teams. The team that loses here tonight, I think, really goes home. 2nd down and 1. Travis Minor. And he pinballs his way near the 38-yard line before he is brought down by Smith, among others, on a gain of 2. And now let's swing to the other side, the NFC playoff picture. Well, you look at the teams up there. Chicago's already clinched at 10-2, and then the wild card, the Giants. I still think the Giants are a good football team. That Giants-Dallas game is going to be an interesting one to see how that finishes up. But in the hunt, Atlanta's fallen off the table pretty quickly, and Philadelphia as well. Having changed quarterbacks, having to go to Jeff Garcia. They get the first down. 2 tight ends, Peel and McMichael. On the 37, here comes McCray. He is blocked by Minor. There goes Harrington, and he throws a pass, which is caught. Booker, and he was working on Brian Williams. The grab to the 47-yard line, a 16-yard strike, a Miami first down. He's moving around a little too much in the pocket. This is a great throw, though, but I'm watching his feet. And he's a little nervous in the pocket, Joey Harrington, right now. He's got to step up. He's got to trust his protection and make the throws. And that last one, he was looking to get out on the edge. The protection is up inside. First Booker reception since his touchdown reception back in the first quarter. Opening drive of the game. 1st and 10, Jacksonville 46. Minor. And it is grabbed by Deion Grant. Head first to the 41, 6-yard pickup. Well, Travis Minor can do it too. Not as big and strong and as physical as Sammy Morris or Ronnie Brown. But he's an exciting, he's a game breaker as well. And given the opportunity, he can bust one. He's never fumbled. He's been a
Very sharp guy. Well, this is good if you're a Dolph fan to see this. A little bit of settled offense.
Yeah, they're mixing it up. They're using a lot of personnel groupings, 3 receivers, 2 tight ends. Kind of mix it up and make the Jacksonville Jaguars cover the field.
Harrington has thrown 2 picks, 2nd down and 4. Personnel stays the same. Minor. There's a good block by McMichael. That opens up a 1st down alley, a gain of 5. He's down to the 35-yard line. Wiley along with Deion Grant make the Jacksonville stop.
And when you're able to run the ball with some consistency, it helps your quarterback. And it helps him in terms of the play-action game. And that's really probably where Joey Harrington's at his best. When he can fake the ball, get back in, set up, set his feet, and make accurate throws down the field. And that's really where the big plays will probably show up in terms of the play action.
He learned a lot in Detroit, didn't Harrington?
He did. I tell you what, it was a tough experience for him, but I think it's made him a better quarterback and better prepared for this opportunity.
1st and 10, base personnel out there for the Jaguars. Barnes is the fullback for Miami. Then they go out to Sammy Morris. Well, that was an easy pass and an easy miss for Harrington. 2nd down and 10. Those are the kinds of things that afflicted him with the Lions. He said he has more confidence now playing in this system.
Yeah, just, again, a little antsy and just make the throw. And you got to be exact when you're throwing to backs. You know, you can't lead them. You got to put it on them. And that's where they're most comfortable. If you try and anticipate and guess where they're going to be, you usually miss them.
He has quick drops and quick releases, doesn't he?
He's done a good job in getting the ball out quick, and that's really helped that offensive line. It's cut down on the number of sacks.
5 defensive backs, 2nd down and 10. Welker is the 3rd receiver for Miami. Harrington.
That's a good throw.
Caught by Chambers, grabbed by Rasheem Mathis. They'll mark him at about, there's still a slow crew to mark this, at the 26. Thank you very much. It's a gain of 9.
He does have good arm strength. Watch this thing come out. I mean, that's a shot, and he gets it on Chambers there and gives him a chance to make a play. But the thing about Joey, they handed him the keys in the car when he was in Detroit, as he said, and he wasn't ready for it. He hadn't earned that opportunity, and that can ruin some players. The good thing about him, he's hung in there, he's battled, and now he's come back and taken advantage of this opportunity with the Dolphins.
26, 3rd and 1. Morris. Oh, great block by Barnes. That opens up a 1st down run. Tackle made by John Henderson. Gain of 3. Mark him at the 22.
And this offensive line's getting some push up front. You watch Hadnot and Jay Cox get that double team, that deuce back up to the middle linebacker, and that gives Sammy some opportunity, some space in there to go up in there and bang it up in there for the 1st down.
Upcoming the 9th play of the drive. It began back at the 27-yard line.
And these are the type of drives this offense needs. It gives their defense a chance to catch their breath on the sidelines. They were playing too much in the 1st half.
4 defensive backs, 3 linebackers, 4 on the line. 1st and 10, 23. McMichael, guarded by Gryson, the linebacker, and Mathis in the secondary. 2nd down and 10. McMichael, about a touchdown pass last week. But the tight end in this offense has not been very prominent in terms of receiving.
Well, that's one of the reasons right there. You got to catch the ball, and that's part of the problem. You watch it. He catches the ball with his body and not his hands extended. Confident receiver would put his hands out there, extend his hands, and catch him. And Randy McMichael's a good enough player, a good enough tight end to do that on a consistent basis.
2nd down and 10. Peel, the 2nd tight end for Miami. No changes on defense. Oh, here they come. He is swallowed. Looked like Rob Meyer devours him back at the 28. A loss of 5. You talked about the push up the middle. Meyer accentuating what Del Rio likes, ruining the integrity of the pocket.
And that's a mental error by Joey Harrington. He knows the pressure's coming. They got a double move on here. You see him pump it. He doesn't have time for that. A simple hand signal out to a receiver to change that route, maybe to a slant route, something quick to get it out of his hands. He knew the blitz was coming, and he still tried to go with that play. That's a mistake.
5 in the secondary. They bring in Cousin. 3 wide receivers. Here comes Welker. 3rd and 15. They need the 13.
They just got to be smart here. Take the completion.
Welker, first catch since the first drive of the game. Brought down by Earl Smith. It's a gain of 5. Jacksonville holds them from getting in the end zone and relegates the Miami Dolphins to a 3-point try.
Yeah, you made a mistake on the previous down, and it does the next best thing. He comes back, gets the completion, kick the field goal, and you move on. That's how you play this game. It's not that complicated. Don't make it any more difficult than it has to be.
Well, with the wind in his face, here's Olindo Mate, who has missed 9 field goal attempts this year, most of any kicker in the NFL. Holding is Jones. John Denny with the snap, and this is no good. He misses another one. And here come the boos raining down. Jacksonville holds. They lead by 10. An important game. 2:43 in the third.
You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 41. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by Wrangler, makers of Wrangler Jeans Company. New fits, new comfort, new styles.
With Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, Garrard with 2 touchdown passes after 2 interceptions by Harrington. First and 10, 32 after the missed field goal of 42 by Olindo Mate.
You see the Dolphins starting to press, having to bring up some extra defenders to the box.
Meester lead block, Fred Taylor with the run. Zach Thomas, Channing Crowder, gain of 2 to the 34. With only 2 amazing races yet to go, these episodes are so fun to watch. It's good to have a sense of direction and not get caught up in a food fight. A new amazing race tonight after 60 Minutes, America's #1 network. You know what's interesting? It's a backup quarterback, and you have been where Garrard was as a backup to the starter. I mean, when do you feel it's your team when you're replacing a starting quarterback?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's never easy, and I think it's been a process for David Garrard. He's handled himself so well.
Second down 8, 34. Good block by Manawai. That's dropped. Wilford. Coverage by Zach Thomas. That's right there.
You know, Kevin, he's handled and carried himself so well over the last couple of years. I really think this guy's a class act, and that's not always the case with number 2 or backup quarterbacks. He was never controversial. There's no backstabbing, and as a result of that, I really believe he has the respect and admiration of all his teammates. And you know, he said to us last night, this is my chance to show that I can lead our football team. And from a career perspective, he realizes this is a tremendous opportunity.
5th defensive back is coming, Daniels. And Jason Allen, 6 defensive backs. 3rd down and 8. They need the 42. Matt Jones, the 3rd receiver. Jones, Drew is in the backfield, and a flag goes down at the line of scrimmage.
False start. Offense number 18. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So it's 3rd and 13.
Well, you know, you compare these 2 quarterbacks. Byron Leftwich, he was more the pure pocket passer, and I really think that he was limited. He's had limited mobility, and now you look at David Garrard. He's more athletic. He brings another dimension to this offense with his ability to keep plays alive with his legs, and that's really been the difference tonight versus the Dolphins.
3 wide receivers, 6 defensive backs, 3rd and 13. They need the 42. Garrard, here comes David Bowens. Here comes Fonnie Holiday. Down he goes. It's the 4th Miami sack. It's a loss of 9. It's back at the 19. Jacksonville's got a punt.
Well, this is good to see because these guys aren't giving up. They keep hustling. They keep bringing the heat. And I tell you what, they are tenacious. This is a group that has a lot of pride. Zach Thomas, Kevin Carter, Jason Taylor, Vonnie Holiday, all these guys, they believe that they can still get this thing done.
Welker back inside the 40. There's Hansen to punt inside the 10.
Need a big return here.
And they're setting it up. Great hang time. 35 Welker.
Good coverage.
It was initially hit by Wimbush, who came down and slowed him up, and then the avalanche of Jaguar players came in there. 46-yard punt. Here comes Harrington with 2 picks tonight. 1:13 in the 3rd. Harrington's thrown a couple picks tonight. You know, it's been a while since. Has he ever put together 2 good games back-to-back?
Well, that's the problem. You look at that graphic right there, and last week and today, in fact, I don't know if he's ever. In fact, he hasn't. Has not had back-to-back games with 100+ ratings, and the consistency factor has been a problem with Joey Harrington.
Jacksonville just punted. 1st and 10 for Harrington. Always hit and brought down. Great play by newly instated Kenny Petway. Signed off the practice squad and just in the game for the first time. In early November, he was signed. 3rd sack, a loss of 7.
Again, the double move, you see him pumping it, and he's starting to hold it now, and that's been the problem in these last 2 sacks. The ball's not coming out as quick. They're trying to take some shots down the field on first down, and this pressure is starting to get home from the Jags.
2nd down and 17. Extra defensive back is Cousin. Extra wide receiver is Welker. They got to get to the 47 for a first.
Screen. There it is.
Oh, another drop by Morris. He felt John Henderson racing down on him. Drop play.
And you know what? He is athletic for a big man. You watch John Henderson. First of all, he's smart. You watch him scrape. He's not fooled at all. And he's out there covering the back in space, and that's pretty impressive for a guy of his size.
How do you like the way Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator, has constructed and organized the schemes of this offense?
That's impressive. You know, it's not an easy situation. His starting quarterback, Dante Culpepper, has not been able to really answer the bell because of his knee and changed quarterbacks at midstream. You make some changes along the offensive line. He's done a pretty solid job, all things considered.
3rd and 17. Looked like Jorge Cordova jumped off sides on that defensive line for Jacksonville. Now the question is, was he induced?
Offsides. Defense number 58. Unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
The one thing I expected some more hard count from Joey Harrington today because it showed up on film a lot last week. The Jaguars jumped off sides 3 or 4 times in that Buffalo game. As a quarterback, when I see that in the meeting room, I'd start making mental notes. Use some hard count, change up the count to try and get these guys off sides and help my offensive line in terms of protection.
No changes offense and defense. 3rd down and 12. McMichael's been shut out since the opening drive from the 35. You need the 47.
That's pressure again. You see off coverage.
That's caught by Booker. He's got the first down. The coverage on the play by Brian Williams. 14-yard gain on 3rd down and 12. First down, Miami.
Well, that should never happen. Just watch the cushion. Watch how far off Brian Williams is on Marty Booker. And, you know, Marty Booker's a good receiver, but he's not necessarily known as a burner, as a speed demon, and that's just too much cushion in that situation.
Back to 4 defensive backs. 1st and 10. 2 tight ends, Peel and McMichael. 50-yard line. Sammy Morris. There's a good block on the play by Peel. And a tackle made by Bryson. Flag is down. Gain to the 46. It's a penalty against Miami, wiping out a 4-yard gain.
It's usually holding in that situation.
Holding. Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
How about this? That's Miami's first penalty tonight.
Well, Nick Saban's football teams are well coached, and they're usually smart, and they do a good job with the penalties.
Scott Linehan was the offensive coordinator last year. Mularkey comes in this year. Was it Mularkey's offense, or did he change his ways, or did he learn the verbiage that was already existing here? What happened?
That's very difficult. You know, Mike Mularkey, a veteran signal caller over the years, and he was forced to actually take his system and tweak it to adjust and to adapt to the system that was already here, and that was very difficult for him. He said in the beginning it was very difficult for him to be, as a play caller, to get his thought process straightened out.
Harrington 2 interceptions, Garrard 2 touchdown passes. With Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, it is 17-7. 1st and 20. First play of the 4th quarter from the 40-yard line. 5 defensive backs, 3 wide receivers. Great time for Harrington.
There you go, pick up half of it.
Morris. And an open field tackle by the rookie Ingram, who had to move there in place of Darrell Smith, who was taking the place of Peterson. It's a gain of 8. Out to the 47. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show. Scores, news, and highlights the Subway postgame from our CBS studios in New York. Garrard, 2 touchdown passes. Miami moving right now. They began this drive at their 36. 2nd and 12. 5 defensive backs. Cousin is the nickel. Welker is the nickel receiver for Miami. This is Welker. Dancing with Sensabaugh, who's got an end zone interception tonight. The gain is to the 45. He picks up 6 and still 4 yards to go for a first.
That's 2 good plays by the Dolphins. Remember, they started 1st and 20. Joey has a little check down, picks up some yards on 2nd down, and now you give yourself a chance on 3rd down to be manageable. 3rd and 5. These are situations that you can convert. the 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s against Jacksonville are almost impossible.
3rd and 5. No changes either way during that between play segment from the 45. McCray drills Harrington. A loss back to the 47. The 4th Jacksonville sack. And that play forces Miami to punt. A loss of 7 yards on the play.
And Damian McIntosh has had 2 bad series and he's given up sacks on both of them. And Bobby McCray just beats them with some speed. And he can't recover, and Joey Harrington never feels it coming.
McCray grew up 30 minutes from this stadium. He has his 8th sack of the season. And since Reggie Hayward is injured, McCray's role has expanded. And how? And the punt from Donnie Jones. Pierman is back. Catch signal given. It's inside the 10 and a bounce. Nicely placed punt by Jones. We've got 13-19 to play. McCray with a great defensive play. Jacksonville, depending on how you look at it, they've lost either 2 of 3 or they've won 3 of 5. A 1-4 road record, a 6-5 overall record. Miami 5-6 coming in after a 1-6 start. They've won 4 consecutive games. With the Chiefs losing and the Colts losing today, things tightening up in that playoff race in the AFC. Second start inside the 10 today. 1st and 10. This is a spinning move by Fred Taylor, brought down by Vonnie Holliday. Gain of 3 to the 12-yard line.
Well, if one of these teams are going to grab a hold of a wild card spot, the road ahead is not going to be easy. Miami has New England, at Buffalo, the Jets, and Indianapolis, and then Jacksonville has Indy, at Tennessee, New England, and at Kansas City. That's a tough road for both of those football teams, and you just look right there, it's not going to be easy.
2 tight ends, including Lewis and Brady. 2nd down and 7. 4 in the secondary for Miami. Taylor again following Barnes. Oh, what a big hole, and there goes Fred Taylor, stiff-arming his way outside, then brought down by Ronaldo Hill. A 1st down gallop to the 23 and a pickup of 12. What a great season Fred Taylor is having. 5-time 1,000-yard rusher.
Watch this cut. Bang. And he is still explosive. He still has that speed to get out on the edge. There's some great blocking up front, but there's no indecision with him. And you watch Derek Wimbush get the block up in front, but I'll tell you what, he is a great player, and he's really helped this football team down the stretch with his maturity. He's helped that Maurice Jones-Drew out, and he has been a leader for this football team.
Wimbush with a terrific block from that fullback position. It is a 1st down from the 25. Hand off to Taylor again. Brought down by Channing Crowder, 26-yard line on a gain of 1. When you look at the receivers of Jacksonville, and of course they are young, highly drafted receivers, it was great when Jimmy Smith was around because I know he led the way and gave them so much texture and learning.
And one of these receivers, not just one, in fact, all of them, they need to step up. They need to mature quickly and take advantage of this opportunity. The one thing I will say about them, though, is they will block. When you watch the film, they block in the running game. They show up. They're not making a ton of plays in the passing game, but they are contributing in terms of the run game.
Weister is in, Lewis are in, so 2 tight ends. In fact, Weister's in the backfield in the 2nd and 9. This is Jones-Drew, the rookie from UCLA, who plummets his way into the grasp of Kevin Carter on a gain of 4 near the 30-yard line. 5'7", 2nd-round pick Maurice Jones-Drew.
Man, he's an exciting guy, and I enjoyed sitting down with him last night. He's a guy with a lot of energy. He's excited about playing in the National Football League. He realizes what a privilege it is. And he's been a big playmaker for them. He scored a touchdown in 7 of his last 9 games, 3 in a row. And he's also helped and contributed in terms of the kickoff return game as well. A good addition for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
There are 6 defensive backs. There are 3 wide receivers with Jones-Drew in the backfield, 3rd and 5.
That's a corner blitz.
It's Daniels, it's Garrard. Oh, and a great catch by Jones. Matt Jones, the catch and run to the 50-yard line. And brought down on the play by Jason Allen, a catch and run of 20 Another first down for Jacksonville. Jones has been terrific tonight for the Jaguars.
And this is a good alert play by David Garrard. They bring the corner blitz. He sees it. He knows where to go with this, the quick answer throw, and Matt Jones knows that he is the hot receiver. He knows he has to look for the ball right now because David Garrard cannot hold it in that situation.
It was like a basketball catch. He was a McDonald's All-American in his home state of Arkansas in basketball, college quarterback, and an NFL wide receiver. What a great athlete.
And he must have had a great week of preparation and practice because Jack Del Rio told us he was going to have a big game tonight.
It's the rookie Lewis on the fly, 50-yard line, 1st and 10. Fred Taylor, Wimbush trying to give a block. And the tackle made by Scanina at the 48 on a gain of a yard. Jones tonight, Rich, 6 catches, 128 yards. That is a career high. Plus, he's got a touchdown.
And you know what? He's a quarterback's best friend. He's got great size. He's got great leaping ability. He's a confident player, and he'll go get the ball. And if you're a quarterback, that's what you want from your receiver. A receiver that'll defend and not give up the interception. He'll be smart with it, and that's something he does. He uses his body so well in space.
Well, the bigger you are for a quarterback, the better you like it, I'm sure, huh?
Yeah, you like those big targets.
2nd down and 9, 49. Here comes Matt Roth after Garrard. And that is caught, but was he in bounds? A grab made. Wilford with a great grab on the fly at the 35. That's a 14-yard pickup, but what an impressive throw by Garrard.
You know what? I think he's more accurate outside the pocket. I mean, this is an unbelievable throw on the sidelines, moving to his right, and he puts it right in the position for Ernest Wilford to make that catch on the boundary.
So Wilford picks up 14. They had a run of 12 by Fred Taylor, a 20-yard catch and run by Matt Jones. The drive began back at the 9. Earlier they had a drive that began back at the 5. They went 95 yards. Now they're at the 35 where it's 1st and 10. And 2 tight ends. Fred Taylor grinding it out. This is a great running team this Jacksonville club is. A gain of 3 to the 32 as we take you to our studios in JB.
Kevin trailing 10-7 in the 3rd. The Giants' Eli Manning under fire, as you well know, the last few weeks. Here, hooking up with Jeremy Shockey, his 5th catch for 59 yards. This play, they're a 10-yard pass play. The drive stalled. They settle for the field goal. All knotted at the Meadowlands at 10. Back to Kevin and Rich.
All right, JB, thank you. Remember, Manning is 3-1 against Dallas. He has had success, but he has struggled of late. 6 interceptions over the last 3 games coming into today. Thank you. 2nd and 7. Right. And look at this. Wow. Jones truly's gone. They cannot stop him. It's a touchdown sprint of 32 yards for number 32.
I'll tell you what, that offensive line from Jacksonville is starting to wear out that front from Miami. Meester and Manawai, Nooli, they're getting some push. You watch him up the middle there, and then Maurice Jones-Drew, he never stops pumping his legs. And he is strong, and he is physical, and he never gives up on runs, and that's the thing that I like about him. And he gets lost in the pile. That's the other thing. He's not a very big back. He kind of gets hidden up in there behind that big offensive line, and then he squirts out.
Zach Thomas thought he had him. That's the 7th touchdown run, the 9th of the season. He is the #1 rookie in the NFL in terms of touchdowns. 7 on the ground, 2 through the air. The electrifying Maurice Jones-Drew, all 5'7", sprinting for 6. And the Jaguars in a vital game in their playoff hopes, leading in Miami.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Zales, the Diamond Store, Izod, and by Dell. We don't make technology for just anyone. We make it for only one. You. Dell. Purely you.
Beautiful South Beach tonight. Not so pretty for the Dolphins, though. Losing 24-7. 2 touchdown passes by Garrard. A 32-yard touchdown run by Maurice Jones-Drew. The subsequent kickoff. Welker steps out of bounds at the 2. There's a flag. Was it out of bounds before he stepped out of play? No.
I think it was.
Let's
see.
The
official did throw the flag.
He did throw the flag, and that's what he's standing there with the 2.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team number 10.
All right.
Ball he placed at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
So there it is. So out of bounds. Harrington will get it. Wow.
Yep.
7:30 in the 4th. Look at Jack Del Rio. His team has played great football tonight on the heels of a tough loss last week in Buffalo, 24-7. Jacksonville on top, 1st and 10 after the kick was out of bounds, 40-yard line. Harrington has thrown 2 interceptions tonight. Sammy Morris, one-on-one with Ingram, and brought down about the 45-yard line on a gain of 5. And tonight on 60 Minutes, the man with the idea that is changing the way millions of Americans are watching movies in their own homes. Followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Cold Case, and Without a Trace. That's tonight on 60 Minutes and on CBS, America's most watched network. 2nd down, 5 from the 45. Nickel secondary for Jacksonville. Harrington, that's caught. Chambers open, works on Rasheed Mathis, gets by Deion Grant, and then they all combine to make the stop at the 37. 18-yard catch and run, a 1st down for Miami.
The impressive thing was about that, watch when Joey Harrington throws this ball, the receiver is not even out of the break. I mean, that's just good anticipation by him. Chris Chambers hadn't even turned around. That ball was already in the air, and that's what you need from your quarterback. Good decisive decision-making and good anticipation.
7 catches tonight by Chambers. That is a season-high 1st and 10. And McMichael upended by Rasheed Mathis and falls down at the 35 on a gain of 2 yards.
Now what you got to do here is you got to get your guys to hustle. A lot of plays, more plays you can get off in this time frame. You're behind. You got to pick up the tempo, and that's what they're doing with this no-huddle package.
5 in the Jacksonville secondary. Terry Cousin is the nickel. 3rd receiver is Welker. 2nd down and 8 from the 35.
Chance here for
it's Morris outside. He slips by Ingram, and he is belted by Sensabaugh, who had an end zone interception earlier in the game. 28-yard line, catch and run of 7 yards.
You know, Joey Harrington was talking about all those 48 combinations, and essentially what that is you have an in route and you have a post over the top, and some of these coverages I'm seeing from Jacksonville, that's available to them. The deep post down the middle of the field and a couple of these coverage schemes that Jacksonville's playing right now are available if they can dial up one of those post routes.
Travis Minor is taking the place of Morris in the backfield. 5 in the secondary. 3rd down and 1. Harrington has hit his last 7 passes. This is Travis Minor. Brought down by Ingram. It's a gain of 4 at the 24-yard line. 1st down.
Well, when I watch the film, we always say the film doesn't lie. And the thing about Jacksonville is they play hard physically. Nobody takes plays off on that unit, and they all run to the ball. And that's the thing that I'm seeing here tonight. They play with a collective energy that's hard to match.
They reflect their coach.
They really do. Jack played that way. I was a teammate of his, and that's what he instills his will on that defense.
Cousin is down. Injury timeout. 5:18 in the 4th quarter from Miami.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Papa John's Pizza. Order online at papajohns.com. And by GMC. We are professional grade.
Cousin has walked off the field for Jacksonville, the nickelback. They replaced him with Scott Starks, 2 years out of Wisconsin. It is a 1st and 10 for Miami, approaching 5 to play, trailing the Dolphins 24-7 from the 24. Minor in the backfield. Here comes McCray. Oh, what a great play. Turned in by John Henderson, who got Minor at the 30, a loss of 4.
I'll tell you what, he has a big-time motor, and he doesn't take plays off. You see him in a little loop stunt there, and he falls right into the screen, and he's right there to make that play. But I like these 2 guys inside, Marcus Stroud and John Henderson, and they make it very difficult for a quarterback. They get their hands up, they knock down a lot of balls.
Starks is out, 5th back is in, that's Cousin. 2nd and 14 for Harrington. Winding up, looking deep, and that is incomplete. Looking for Chambers. Sensabaugh along with Mathis were defending. This defense for Jacksonville is very stout, very good. They've had 7 different lineups through 12 games. That says something about the resiliency.
Yeah, it does. It says something about the job that Mike Smith has done, their defensive coordinator. Despite the injuries at each level, you think about it, they lost Hayward, they lost Peterson, they lost Donovan Darius last week, and this defense has continued to excel. He's done a good job with that group.
Then you got Del Rio, who learned his defensive tactics from Marvin Lewis while together at Baltimore with the Ravens.
Right.
3rd and 14 from the 28. 5 in the secondary, 3 receivers. Twirling catch by Morris. Slowed up on the play by Brian Williams. It's a gain of 4. It's fourth down. He was down to the 24-yard line.
Well, the difference has been the pressure today, and Joey Harrington has never been able to get comfortable. He's not been able to set his feet. 4 sacks alone in the second half by this Jacksonville front line, and they've been tenacious. And it hasn't just been one individual. It's been all of them. Marcus Stroud, John Henderson, Bobby McCray, Paul Spicer. They've all contributed. They've all made life difficult for Joey Harrington.
Well, it's fourth down, and they're going to try for 3. A 42-yard try by Orlando Mare, who missed earlier from 42 at the other end of the field. And this time, it is up. It is good. All-time Dolphin field goal kicker. Mare puts it down. 3:45 in the fourth. With Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, Orlando Mare just kicked a 42-yard field goal. And now, are you expecting an onside kick with 3:45 remaining and down by a couple scores?
Certainly Jacksonville is. They have their second line up. They're anticipating they have one deep receiver back there, and Alvin Perman, their return man. And let's see what Miami does here. Good kick.
It is and it's caught by Chambers, who takes it down to the 47-yard line. Or they say that he stepped out of bounds at the 45. He did. Can't advance, of course. He can't advance, so he's got it at the 45.
The key here is watch how high Orlando Mare gets this ball up in the air. And you look.
How about that?
And you look at Keith Armstrong, their special teams coach. You think he's excited? He realizes those contributions in the kicking game can sometimes be the difference between a win and a loss.
Can advance an onside kick, as we said, so the 45-yard line. Mare comes up with a clutch play, but Chambers with the great catch on the ball that was twirling toward him. 45. Plenty of time left. Miami's got 3 timeouts. 5 in the secondary, 3 receivers.
Incompletions here won't hurt you. Joey Harrington just has to be smart. No sacks or turnovers.
Harrington moves up nicely, hits Welker, and he is crushed by both Cousin and by Darrell Smith. The gain is to the 42. It's a 12-yard pickup. Subway postgame show coming up. JB and crew, news, scores, a busy day in the NFL. Wrapped up nicely for the Subway postgame show from our studios. 1st and 10. That changes either way. Harrington right down the middle to Chambers. He beat Rashean Mathis. He's brought down by Cousin at the 18-yard line. It's a catch and run of 24. A Miami first down at the Jacksonville 18.
Well, just a great job. Watch Chris Chambers up top. Now watch him come out of the break and watch him come to life after the catch. And this is what's been missing from this offense the last couple weeks.
1st and 10. Here comes Ingram. And to the end zone looking for Chambers. Incomplete. Coverage by Rashean Mathis, and Gerald Sensabaugh.
Well, Chris Chambers got to be careful in that situation. Joey Harrington gives him a chance. He needs to keep the ball on the field, though. He doesn't give him much room on the sidelines, but at the end of this route, you see Chris Chambers. He's jockeying for position there on the sidelines with Rashean Mathis. But there's just not enough room on that sideline. You got to give your receivers a little bit more room on the boundary. Joey Harrington doesn't do it in that case.
Petway is in on the defensive line with Myers, Spicer, and McCray. 2nd and 10. 18. Derek Hagan is an extra receiver for Miami. And that's where they go. Coverage on the play, on the pass from Harrington to Hagan. Brian Williams, incomplete. 3rd and 10.
Well, it's a good route, and looks like it's a pretty good throw. They get the coverage they want. The off covers the one-on-one matchup. Williams stumbles out of the break a little bit. You just need to be a little bit more accurate with that throw. That's a very difficult ball for Derek Hagan to handle.
He's been dropping some, though. The all-time leading receiver out of the Pac-10 conference. 3rd and 10.
Well, this is 4-down territory. You got 2 shots here. Just got to be smart.
Chambers back in. 5 in the secondary. The Nicholas Cousin. Here comes McCray. Blocked by McDaniel. That's caught by Booker.
Wow, is that a good effort by Marty Booker?
The tackle was made by Brian Williams at the 9. It's a gain of 9. It's 1st and goal.
And what happens here, they dial up the right protection. That's a good call by Mike Mularkey. They get the right protection. Joey Harrington has enough time to set his feet and makes a good, accurate throw to Marty Booker.
McMichael is the one who made that block, and a good one it was, buying time for Joey Harrington. 1st and goal at the 8. Low snap from Hadnot. Looking for Booker. Coverage on the play by Deion Grant. 2nd and goal, which takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1:58 to play. Miami trying to scurry their way in with time running out and down by 2 touchdowns. Olinda Maury booted a 42-yard field goal. Then his subsequent onside kick was recovered by Chambers at the 45. And on this drive, Chambers had a 24-yard catch and run. Now they're at the 8, where it's 2nd down and goal. They took over with 3:45 to play. This is the 7th play of the drive coming up. Harrington has thrown 2 interceptions. Garrard has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Five defensive backs. 2nd and goal at the 8. 3 receivers. Blocked by McIntosh. That's dropped by Welker, who is covered by the linebacker Smith at the 2-yard line.
Sometimes as a quarterback, you got to sit in there and take a hit for the team. And I see Joey Harrington. I've been watching his feet most of the night, and he's moving around the pocket. He's not quite set. You see him fading and drifting from that throw, and that's why he misses it. That's why it's a little out in front of Wes Welker.
Cordova is on that defensive line. He was there belting him with Stroud, Spicer, McCrane. That's the defensive line for Jacksonville. 3rd and goal at the 8.
Step up.
He did. But the catch at the 5-yard line with the tackle by Spicer was made by Booker. And now that's a gain of 3, and it's 4th down. The timeout taken with 1:46 to play. Miami burns their 1st timeout.
And I can promise you, Mike Mularkey's up in that booth trying to find the best play for this situation.
Next Sunday, coming down to crunch time in the NFL, McNair and the Ravens go after Larry Johnson and the Chiefs, who lost today. Meantime, the Colts will tackle the Jaguars. A lot of you will see that game. In the nightcap, Broncos battle the Chargers. JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boober bring you the NFL today here on the home of Super Bowl 41, CBS Sports.
And when I look at that schedule, this is the exciting time in the National Football League. And all those games, a lot of those games have some serious playoff implications. And this is when it's fun to be a player in the National Football League.
With such high expectations for the Dolphins coming into this season. They start 1-6. Coming into tonight, they've won 4 straight.
Yeah, and the slow starts have been killer. But you think about it, they had 2 new coordinators. They had a major change in the quarterback position to a player, Dante Culpepper, who wasn't quite ready to go physically. And then, you know, they started, in my opinion, to really read and believe some of that preseason hype. Teams picking this team to win the Super Bowl. And I think that those expectations were unrealistic.
5 defensive backs, 3 receivers, 4th and goal at the 5.
They get all the receivers out. Get the backs out.
Harrington almost picked off, incomplete. Williams had it. He dropped it for Jacksonville. A pass intended for Booker. On downs, it goes back to Jacksonville.
Well, it's just a good series by Jacksonville. They weren't fooled, and Brian Williams was right in position to drive on this throw, and he wasn't fooled. And that's, you know, from Joey Harrington's perspective, you got to take a shot. It's 4th down. You got to try and stick one in there, and he tried.
Well, they were in the red zone. The Dolphins' offense was today. 3 separate times. They only came up with 7 points.
And that's been a problem all year for them. And against a good football team like Jacksonville, you got to convert when you get those opportunities in that part of the field.
Well, Miami is going to drop to 5-7. Timeout taken. There were not enough people on the field for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had Wimbush coming out there. It looked like maybe he should have been out there and wasn't.
And that wouldn't have been a penalty, having 10 guys. What would have been a penalty was they wouldn't have had the left tackle covered up. Would have had an illegal formation, and that's why they called the timeout.
And Jacksonville, should they go on to win, and everything would tell you they would, will go to 7-5. And here's what they got coming up next week on CBS. The Colts at Tennessee, which has suddenly become an emerging team than the Patriots than at Kansas City on New Year's Eve.
And that's a brutal road ahead. We talked about just a few minutes ago how it was the second most difficult schedule here on out, and that's going to be a tough battle, tough road to hoe. But I'll tell you what, this team is getting hot at the right time. Their defense has been solid all year, and now you watch the way that David Garrard has played and has come on, and this team really believes that he can be the guy for the next 4 weeks to lead them to the playoffs.
It is a 1st and 10. They called the timeout. Winbush is in. Fred Taylor. And really tripped over his own blocking, and he spins for about 5, and he's out to the 10. Miami takes another timeout. They've got 1 remaining, and the Dolphins will watch their 4-game winning streak come to a close. They've got the Patriots next week on the road, Buffalo and Indianapolis, and in between the Jets on Christmas Day.
Well,
for Nick Saban.
You just can't start 1-6 and expect to be talking about the playoffs in December, and that's 2 years in a row now that Nick Saban, this football team, has gotten off to rocky starts, and you think that's something they're going to have to address in the offseason. They got to get that straightened out. They got to get that turned around. It's so important to come out of the gates fast in September.
Yeah, they're also trying to figure out the quarterback situation. Earlier this week, some scar tissue removed surgically from the knee of Dante Culpepper. Harrington, of course, coming here. This is, the 7th start with this team, and their 6th start today for the team, and he's trying to figure out exactly where he stands, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with their quarterback situation. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Fred Taylor into the pile and driven back.
Well, Dante Culpepper was really put in a difficult situation, in a position. He was really limited, in my opinion, because of his health. And then, of course, Joey Harrington came in, and he gave you some better movement in the pocket. And he was getting the ball out quicker, and that really took some of the pressure off that offensive line. The sacks went down. But today, again, and people want to know why the jury's still out on this guy. It's the consistency thing, Kevin. Can he put back-to-back games together? And can he make solid decisions each and every week out? And that's what you want. That's what you expect from your veteran quarterback, your leader. And, he's a guy that has been through some tough times. There's no question about that. It has not been an easy situation to come into. But, I think that he's better prepared. He's better prepared for this opportunity, having gone through what he did in Detroit. But he needs to get his confidence back, and that's something that you have to have if you play that quarterback position. You have to believe in yourself, and your teammates have to believe in you, and that's so important.
Well, it was his 8th start today, and he came here in a trade with Detroit back in the middle of May. And when he came in, it was a situation where he was coming in as the backup quarterback. Clearly, Dante Culpepper was being given the lead role here. It was a 3rd and 5 from the 10. Taylor again, bouncing outside, a foot race with Andre Goodman, sheds him, faces Crowder. There goes a penalty flag, and the run takes him close to the 30-yard line, a 19-yard run, easily a 1st down, but let's see what the flag tells us now.
I'll tell you, I've been impressed with what I've seen from Jacksonville tonight. A 6-5 football team. They lost an overtime game. They lost a couple games by some field goals, and other than that, this team could have easily been 8-3 or 7-4 at this point in the season.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 28. Half it into the goal, repeat 3rd down.
It was on Fred Taylor as he was trying to stiff arm his way around the bend.
The one thing that jumps out at you when you watch this football team, I'm talking about both sides of the ball, they are a physical football team. They compete. They play hard. They don't take plays off. They don't quit on runs. And Fred Taylor, 19 carries for 83 yards tonight. Another productive night for him.
4 of the 5 losses by 7 points or less for Jacksonville this season. When you were at the Raiders, you had this thing called the grit, G-R-I-T factor. What was that, and how does that apply to Jacksonville?
Yeah, even not only games you won, but games you lost if you lost them by 7 points or less. And that's important. That tells you that you're in every game with a chance to win. And that's all you can ask for in the National Football League. And I think this Jacksonville Jaguar team, they've been in every game this year for the most part with a chance to win. And now they're finding a way to finish them the right way.
Spot foul, gain of 11. So they're at the 10, and it's 3rd down and 4. Jones drew. And he squirms his way for a pretty good gain. Zach Thomas made the stop. It's a gain of 5. He's out to the 16 and picks up a first down on the play. That should do it. Miami's out of timeouts. So Jacksonville will go to 2-4 on the road. They have won 4 of their last 6 games. And they are very much alive in the playoff picture of the AFC.
I'll tell you what, the biggest area improvement that I've seen from this football team has been the play of their offensive line. And the job that Mike Tice and Andy Heck have done. Third rushing offense, and they've given up just 17 sacks coming into tonight's game. And that's really been the difference for this football team. David Garrard's had more time back in the pocket. That unit up front has played very, very well.
Big win on the heels of a loss last week at Buffalo for Jack Del Rio and his Jacksonville Jaguars. Kansas City loses today, and Indianapolis lost today. The Jets did win in Green Bay, so it's a very interesting AFC playoff picture. For Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Miami, where the final score is 24-10. Garrard throws 2 touchdown passes. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of Super Bowl 41.
Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. That's followed by all new episodes of The Amazing Race, Cold Case, and Without a Trace. That's tonight on CBS, America's #1 network, as we welcome you back to Studio 43 and the Subway postgame show. Take a look at the AFC playoff picture up to date. Dan, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think Cincinnati really takes the biggest jump today. They didn't play. They played Thursday night. By Kansas City losing, Cleveland really helped Cincinnati. They have a very good conference record, so that puts them in pretty good shape, and they get a chance to play head-to-head Denver and Cincinnati
and
later.
3 huge games next week, guys. Indianapolis at Jacksonville, Baltimore at Kansas City, and Denver at San Diego, all right here on CBS.
Shannon, earlier you talked about the NFC playoff picture. Your thoughts here?
Well, you can see Chicago is already clinched. New Orleans is playing really well. Big game going on right now. Dallas at the Giants. And if whoever wins this game is going to have complete control of the NFC East. The other teams slip down into the wild card. Carolina, Atlanta's still alive right now. So Atlanta, Carolina, Giants.
Huge game tomorrow night. Philadelphia hosts Carolina.
Right.
Atlanta makes a big jump today by virtue of their win. And New Orleans, a huge win at home. Reggie Bush's big day.
Dan's big thought on the day, no more placards. We'll find out next week. We'll see you next Sunday right here on the NFL Today.
Good night.